All right, fellas. Thanks for joining me again.
Hey.
Welcome back
Good to see you.
Bar Minimum Podcast.
Hey, what do we usually do on this?
Oh, kick us
at
off
this
by
bar here.
cracking. Let's crack these hogs.
Are they
Ready?
going to explode?
Oh, I exploded.
I don't remember what this tastes like. just
Brian
a
promised me
warning.
this was perfect and great.
I don't remember liking it.
Why?
No, I still don't like it.
It's not bad. It's light. It's a crusher.
And that's
It feels like summery, but also
one
shit
sip.
at
Everyone
the
knows
same
the
time.
rules.
Yep, I took two.
One
Oh,
sip.
shoot.
I get
I'm
it.
happy with it.
I know what you're saying.
No, that's not. You
Okay,
can't sue me
never
for
mind.
that.
Fellas,
Hey,
what have you guys been up to lately? Tell me.
I've been cracking cans and crushing sips.
crushing dreams, man.
Crushing dreams.
I've had my
Same old,
dreams
same old?
are crushed. Yeah, like I don't do anything, man. I just
Doesn't it seem like that lately? All those dreams we once had are now just encapsulated in a cold silo.
our dreams have gone flat like a beer opened for too long.
Well, these aren't though, right? I mean,
No, these are. This is nice. This is proudly made in Alberta.
Don't blow smoke. It's a little weird. I don't
and
know.
if you haven't noticed, we are switching it up with a 3-camera setup. Finally, we just want to thank our Patreon subscribers. We want to thank everyone who has donated to this, and we just love your support. And we continue to grow, so we're trying something new. Brian just won't shut up about the single camera, so I had to do something about it.
Yeah, this is either the first episode or our 1000th episode.
You don't
we haven't
know.
decided yet.
You don't
but
know.
Whatever
The quality
works.
still stays the same. The angles differ. So
That's right. That's right.
yeah. Yeah, it's like just same old, same old. The seasons be changing. The beer's still flowing though, and we're still hanging on to this. Been trying some new things, kicking some bad habits.
Trying some new
Yeah.
Alberta-made beers.
Yeah,
Honestly, beer is the only constant in my life, really, and my wife, I guess, my loving,
Oh, yeah,
beautiful
yeah,
wife.
yeah.
But mostly beer, you know.
I'm actually very excited to see you. I talk to you on occasion
I harass Brian
in a blue moon,
Yeah.
but not like virtual world, not in real life.
Yeah,
so.
you guys are video game boys.
We are.
a little bit.
We are.
Yeah.
And I love my strategy games. I haven't really played them in the last few years. When I was growing up as a young lad, also the Minecraft movie's coming out. It's not made for us, but that's a thing. I played that when it first came out, and here we are.
Okay,
Seeing,
move on.
seeing my version of me on film as Jack Black.
That's that.
I wasn't going to bring that up, so I'm glad you
This is
did.
a big fat loser with lots of money, but I don't have that. So
Hey, 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
I think I like my strategy games, right? Just like all men have the urge to move like scores of troops across the map.
To be a leader of men,
Exactly. And
I've never had that dream.
no, you don't. You never want to lead your men
Brian's
into
a,
like an
Brian's a
ambush.
sub.
I do like looking through. Yeah,
He follows.
Spanks me
he's-
while I crawl through the woods. I do like going through the woods. I'll give you that.
Yeah. So I came across a game that came out in like 2021. It's like its base game. It's called Call to Arms, and its setting is like Iraq, like modern day, like warfare. Well, not modern day, but
Modern or Iraq War?
Iraq, Afghanistan.
Can I play Saddam's like palatial guard?
You can play like those other guys. I don't know how to describe them without. You play their old ISIS guys.
What year does this take place in?
Old ISIS.
I don't know. Whoever. Like, I think it's like a
Pre-
made up. It might be a made.
Proto-ISIS? Pre-ISIS?
Yeah, it might be like a made up desert faction.
Okay. Cool.
Anyways,
You're ripping around in like Toyotas with machine guns on the
well,
back.
you can kill those guys. Yeah. The
So you're
what
not-
are they called with the machine guns in the back? There's a name of those trucks.
Toyota Tacoma.
Yeah, they are. But like they
The
call them
best
something
Tacoma
else.
advertisement
I forget
of
what
all
they're called.
time. They will survive
yeah.
wars in the Middle
It's
East.
the cool thing is you can look at from the top view. You can select all your units. Blah blah.
It's like a real time strategy. Is that
Yes,
the
that's what
correct
it is.
term?
The RTS.
Hey,
But,
look at you.
Look at this guy. He knows what he's talking about. So the other cool feature of it is you can select any unit, and then you can control them from like a single soldier to a tank to a Humvee to a Bradley. So I was just kind of playing that, and it seemed pretty cool. It goes
Bradley's
on-
just a dude.
yeah, Bradley.
He's like a hero
Technically, yes,
class?
he was. And then they named the tank
6'11".
after him
Yes.
because he was a general, and that's how
Brad.
the U.S. That's the U.S.
I should have known. You're a tank man.
That's the U.S. Tank naming
Is that the
convention.
shittiest
Ryan.
tank, though?
The
It has
Bradley
been
is
for
more
many years.
uses a smaller caliber. It's like kung 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 kung
Oh,
kung,
yeah.
and then it erases everyone in front of it. So that was it was cool, right? You could actually go first person, and then while you're shooting and whatever.
That is cool to
defending.
have both, because then
Yeah, you don't see that much, but
then you don't have to play two different games.
The-
You can just get one. It's
the
like two
future
games
is-
in one.
yeah, it really is. It's the future is now. So where I'm getting at, fellas, is I
The
think
future
if-
is 2004 in the Iraq War. But go on. Sorry.
Yes. Yeah. Just wait. Well, I don't want to deviate too much, but there's mods that can bring you onto the front lines of Ukraine and Russia
Oh,
boy.
damn.
in Armor Reforger. And
It's dark.
Yep. And you can control drones and.
I was gonna
Anyways,
ask. Yeah.
Going
I mean, it's
back-
also, to be clear, the Iraq War was extremely dark as well. It's just, it's been
Yeah,
there's some
memory
time in
heals.
between.
Yeah.
And,
I did.
Time
Do I have my timeline wrong? I did watch Black Hawk Down.
okay.
Not
That's
too
in
long ago.
Somalia.
Yeah, but is that not the area of like the timeline? The certain
No, that's early 90s, I believe.
Early 90s,
But
yeah.
I mean, the first, like the Gulf War with like Iraq, that was
yeah.
also like Desert Storm. That was also early 90s.
and then the same theme of a secret U.S. embassy that shouldn't be there, or U.S. doing operations where they shouldn't be.
Yeah.
I watched the Secret Soldiers of Benghazi.
Okay. Is this like? Is this
That's
like
the one with
is this a Dinesh D'Souza joint or what?
No, that's the Hillary Clinton one where they didn't
No, I know.
acknowledge the U.S. embassy. Yeah,
I know.
yeah. So
You have to.
was-
all my homies who know who Dinesh D'Souza is will get.
I don't.
get
I
that
don't.
joke.
But
Don't look at me. I didn't know.
Was
I
it
don't
funny? Was it good?
It just like the same theme of like.
Was John Krasinski in it?
Yes, he was.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I think I might have known this.
Yeah,
Okay.
he
okay.
is in it. Yeah, this is the guy from The Office.
He is super.
Yeah, not he. I think he plays Jack Ryan, but not.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, he loves he fancies himself like an operator at this
Yes.
point. I think he believes
Yeah,
it. I think
I
he
think he
actually
does.
thinks. Yeah, I think he thinks he went through the training. Like people have made this joke before about movie stars where they like start to actually believe
Yeah.
that they are like they are
Yeah.
what they've played. I think he full on thinks that.
What
that-
is what the one would Jason Statham be?
See, I don't think he even considers himself that much of an actor. I think he's just a cool guy.
This is just a guy that
Yeah,
just says
he's just a
shoot.
cool
And
guy.
he just starts assaulting people.
My name's Jason
I'm
Statham.
a mechanic. You ever seen Crank?
Of course.
Crank in Your Hog, 1,
Yep.
2, and 3.
Of course.
So going back to what I was saying originally. So Call to Arms, RTS, first person,
Yeah.
cool thing. Goes on sale all the time. You get it for cheap. And then they came out with a DLC, like an add-on, which comes out to pretty much be a game on itself called Gates of Hell, the Ostfront. So if you're familiar,
Like AUS.
Australia.
OST, I think Ostfront.
Where's that?
Okay.
So that was the Ostfront was between the Russians and Germans. So that's where like your like most of the war crimes like
Well, a good amount for sure. Yeah.
occurred. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah,
it always
yeah.
all over, but I don't know if in that line Bulgaria is in there too. That's where we talked about the movie Come and See. There's lots of war crimes in that movie as well.
It was
anyways-
Belarus, I think.
Yeah, well, it's Belarusian. You're right.
Yeah.
you're right.
But
My mistake.
Bulgaria were
It's near Germany. Yeah.
they were Nazi.
Maybe I meant to say
allies.
that one.
northeast of
Yeah,
Italy
it-
somewhere. In
Well,
between
there
that.
was all kinds of.
Yeah. So thank you for tuning
Romania,
into our history
Bulgaria.
lesson.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, like,
that would
what do white guys between the age of 25 and 55 like more than anything? It's World War II.
And starting a podcast and thinking you're going to be successful at it. So,
Podcast, beer, and World War
Yeah.
II. I mean, we
Are we doing anything
we
wrong here?
algorithmically can't fail.
yeah.
Um,
And thank God my girlfriend's here to support me. Yeah, this guy with the comment last night, I was laughing so hard.
what was
Like,
that?
when we were talking about the job I applied for.
Oh.
And I said, "Oh yeah, I'd also get some isolation pay." And then you
Oh, I think I remember
snuck that one in. And you said, "Don't you get that paid? Don't you get paid that already?"
Yeah. Well, hey,
I thought it was hilarious. I was.
I think that single people should get some
This
compensation,
guy
right? Because
firing
it's,
shots from across the pond.
yeah, well,
It was good.
You
It was
buy
good.
bread
It
to
was
like
good.
throw breadcrumbs out, see what happens.
no, because it's just so hard to live on your own if
my
you're
God.
if you,
Yeah,
if you
that's
don't
true.
have another income, you know.
I know.
Come on, I think yeah, no, I
But So yeah, it's this World War II add-on, right? You go from
Yeah.
your modern combat to your World War II. So that takes place on the Oz front, and then just like any predatory DLCs, you can buy your extra like factions, Americans, Finnish. I think they're coming out with a British faction. So I got the American, and then I saw this new release called the Airborne, and I was like, okay, I guess it's just.
This game is taking you for a ride, and this is
Oh, it did. It did.
for all you're worth.
It did. So, it did. Well, the thing, you go on Steam sales, you wait for it to go. You can buy, last sale, you could buy Call to Arms and the Ostfront for under $10.
Beauty.
Regular price, $44.
1944.
So, I got the Airborne DLC, started to play it,
Cool.
and turns out it follows the 101st Airborne, and then the 105th Paratroop.
Okay.
I got mixed up. I thought I had this down, but another history lesson for you.
Let's have some
Follows Easy
nerds
Company.
in the comments.
Yeah. Whatever that was. And so it actually follows the events of, the show Band of Brothers. On the second level, I'm literally commanding my
Never heard of
troops to go up the main road where the episode of Carrington where the machine gun is, and that's what happens. The machine guns start opening up on us, and you have to get down. You have to throw smoke, and then you have to hold Carrington, and then do the backup. You have to hold it, and it's pretty cool. And then I'm selecting guys with rocket launchers, and I'm like waiting for tanks to come around the corner. And then in this game, you can actually choose where the rocket goes, and if you hit a sweet spot, like it'll blow the ammo, and the top will blow off compared to like if you hit it on like the front corner.
Got some,
So,
some physics.
Yeah, very detailed in that.
Bazooka physics.
Yeah, it's fun. And once I was done there, then the next mission was to hold the counterattack, and that's the episode in Band of Brothers where Blythe is getting all his PTSD, and then Winters is like, "Come on, Blythe, give him everything you got," and he's like, and he shoots the one German guy, and he's like, "Did I kill him?" And then he had to be there, I guess.
Well, that's
had to be there.
Oh, that's when Paul Giamatti died, and Vin Diesel and Tom Hanks.
Yeah, because I did actually. This got me going on a big World War II thing. It's like, I haven't really just beat to death in a while. It's just overwatching World War II things. So I actually watched Masters of the Air. Maybe later, at the end of this, I'll play the dream message I sent to Brian.
Oh, that was awesome. I deleted that immediately without listening to it.
Yeah.
No, he was whispering. I was at work and I had it on speakerphone, and he's whispering like half alive.
Yeah, I woke up
This
because
insane dream.
my habits are allowing me to get my REMs, and I had vivid dreams, so I had to let him know. And our buddy Shane.
It was about a 3-minute.
So maybe if we have time at the end there, we'll listen to it.
Okay, yeah,
Anyways, back to World War II.
Yeah, my
on this
favorite
big
part
kick.
of Band of Brothers is when they find Matt Damon and they start bringing him home.
That's Saving Private Ryan, by the way.
No, I don't think so.
I'm pretty sure.
No, remember in Band of Brothers when they save Private Ryan? That's my favorite part.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And Vin Diesel drives his 1963 black Dodge Challenger.
And the sniper in the clock tower.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
or in the bell tower.
I mean,
that's
not
the best
to
part
discredit
of
them
Band
as
of
real
Brothers.
men, and they were a band of brothers.
No, this was a
regardless.
Hollywood movie. This is not real guys.
Oh,
it's not based on any famous memoirs.
Okay.
Or,
So, the game, blah blah blah.
You ruined it for me. I've never seen
I got
Band
into
of
this
Brothers.
World War II.
don't worry. Don't worry.
How does World War end? How does Band of Brothers?
Yeah, shh.
They all live. So I started. I actually tried to find a way to watch Saving Private Ryan, Band of Brothers, The Pacific, Masters of the Air in play order.
What the hell is Saving Private Ryan? I'm sorry. This was my whole scheme was to confuse Band of Brothers and Saving Private Ryan to make you upset. Go
He's
on.
gonna burst the blood vessel.
Everyone knows this. Everyone knows rules. Man, my voice is cracking. That's good. I'm so glad
Take
we
a
shoot
sip.
this late
Full
in the
of
evening.
rage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What time is it? 5 in the morning?
So
Yeah,
How
I think
did you
it's-
watch all this at the same time?
I didn't watch
Piracy?
all at the same time, but there's of course there's a dude on Reddit who said, "Yeah, watch this episode and then
Oh,
we'll
like
watch this
chronology.
through all of those series, right? So you could watch technically the World War II before World War III. So
Holy crap!
yeah, and then I was like, you know what? I haven't seen in a while. Band of Brothers. That's not the same Private Ryan. It was actually really funny because I was
That's
watching.
debatable.
I was watching clips of streamers and YouTubers
Yeah.
reacting to Saving Private Ryan for the first time.
She's of course, yeah.
It was hilarious. It was
We brought 15 U.S. military veterans to
and the ladies were just in shock the whole time. Like they were just like they were crying. They
Is
were
his
just
arm
like,
gonna go back on?
Yeah. They're just like, I'm like, oh, you just wait for this part, and then yeah,
Is Vin Diesel gonna be okay?
I think they got PTSD by watching it. I'm saying collectively, everyone hates Umpum, whatever that loser at the end, the guy who couldn't muster up any courage.
Yeah.
Let his friend die with the slow knife.
I was gonna
Yeah.
use that
Is his name
part
Upham?
as a
Oh,
part of
yeah,
Band of
Upham.
Brothers as well.
No, don't confuse people. You're gonna make people. We're gonna make people look up World War II stuff and accidentally get, interested in it. But
Yeah. Well, it's a pretty undercovered part of history, you know. It's
I never heard of it.
I think
Yeah,
at least
exactly. There's
once every few years you need to watch Band of Brothers.
I haven't seen it in about 20.
So you need to rewatch it. It is.
I was a
quite the
war obsessed
show.
young lad, and it definitely was. It was, it's everything you want when that's the movie.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's a production, and it shows maybe more of the brotherhood of going into hell feet first, like they did. And it almost seems like, boy, I'd like to have friends, and we all like to be cool and suffer PTSD before we knew what that was.
Yeah,
And
I
jump
mean,
in,
like
it really, it's a great show, and I think you really should check it out if you haven't. It's a good part of history. Well, not like in a happy sense.
Well, we've learned, like, especially us now, these 4 or 5 or whatever generations removed, we've learned so much about war, and even them at the time, World War I was obviously right
Yeah.
close to their memory.
It was fresh, yeah.
But despite those lessons learned about how horrible war is and how, whole towns of young men are wiped out in places like especially France and Germany and Newfoundland too in the First World War. Despite all those lessons, there's still that little pull. There's still that draw of, if not King and Country, which, like, who cares about that? There's still that adventure with guys you grew up with, like
The boys, yeah.
and that's obviously, it makes it so you want to fight for those guys, but then you're also seeing those guys die or be wounded or else just become,
Changed.
yeah.
Yeah.
But there's still that little draw. There's still that little part of you that's like, yeah, I could totally.
Well, there was that pressure, right? They even talked about it when they reference the actual soldiers who were there, who were talking on the behalf of those.
Paul
events.
Giamatti, yeah.
Paul Giamatti, Vin Diesel. Who else?
Ross from Friends. Wait, that's actually
Yeah.
the Brothers. Never mind.
Yeah. Okay, Ross. Captain Winters. What's his name? Guy from Windcatcher.
The real dude?
Yeah, the ginger.
He's
guy.
a real dude, though. I don't know him, but he was a good
Oh,
great
yeah,
actor.
I forget his
You
name
know-
too. I mean, yeah. Everyone
But
knows.
even
Everyone knows.
when they're doing their testimonies about the events, they're saying like, why, if you were an able body, why weren't you serving? It was your duty. Like even if you weren't sure about it, like there was pressure to join because everyone was doing it.
yeah,
And you could see even scenes in Band of Brothers towards the end where you got the replacements coming in late, between like 44 and 45.
Yeah,
where,
the
like,
conscripts.
and they're just like, can we please go on patrol,
Basically.
please? I want to get a bit of an action because
Yeah.
for them to go there and not be a part of it, they feel like they did a disservice or like.
yeah. There's that scene in the Pacific which sucked kind of, where all the battle hardened this battle hardened unit that you've been following and stuff, they're finally getting some rest. They're covered in soot, blood, and shit, and then you got some new guys or like some
When they're walking in,
you got not just
Fresh-faced
replacements,
guys.
yeah.
but also I don't know, I think they're coded to be like cooks and sort of like the behind the lines jobs, and they're like, anybody got some Japanese swords for sale? Like, I'm trying to get a Japanese sword to send it back home, or like bring it back home. I can't go home without a cool Japanese helmet. Basically, like
Yeah.
looking for these trophies, and
Yeah,
then the
yeah,
guys who
exactly.
are actually in the in the fighting were like, "Fuck off, man, get out of here.
Well, that was
You didn't earn it."
the
look
one
at
guy
me.
in.
How do you know about my sword collection?
There was a scene in Band of Brothers where the guy was just so obsessed. I don't know if it was actually real or just part of the drama they added in for.
Yeah,
It's a
Emotional
dramatic show.
effect?
Yeah.
But the guy is like he wants his Luger. I forgot the soldier's
Yeah.
name.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
He finally gets a Luger, and then because the Luger was a piece of junk and it jammed and misfired, it's in his pocket and it goes off, hits the main artery, and he bleeds out and dies. All because he tried to get the
we call that irony.
iron. Oh,
Ooh, I got a question.
Iron crossing.
ironing crown. Yeah.
I got a question for you because you already ruined the show. I haven't seen it. I saw the first episode, and I saw Ross from Friends, and I said,
Brian,
"This ain't for me."
There's still lots for you. There's still lots in there.
so
Also, you know how World War II ends, so
I'm very
Did it ever
impressed
end?
with a lot that I have seen. It was well done. I don't know
Oh,
if it
it's
was my
fantastic.
screen that was on like nighttime
fantastic.
mode, or if it's actually like patina sepia tone, or if it was just my screen. Is it a little bit of both? Maybe. A little
I will say-
Little. I mean, sorry.
No, I was watching the 2 episodes where they're in Bastogne when they're encircled by the Germans as they're trying to advance to Foy
Yeah.
and the Ardennes forest.
Yeah.
Both episodes is just mortars flashing and trees bursting, and it's like that for 2 episodes.
Yeah, and I was going to bring up those episodes specifically. In my memory, those are like blue-green.
Yeah, it's white. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
very cold looking.
Very,
And
very
I
filtered.
watched those
That's
2
part of it,
episodes
yeah.
before going to bed. All my dreams.
Yeah.
It's just like it didn't feel like I was in it, but it was more like watching those scenes over again.
Yeah.
But it seems like I'm watching guys get blown up.
Well,
And
that's-
just imagine like in real life the PTSD.
Yeah,
of
that's
it.
the best way to go to war with your friends is in your dreams.
Yeah. Yes. I guess.
I mean,
yeah.
beats
But
having
that's
to really do it.
I just happened to watch that before it. I went to bed, but yeah, it's quite the series, and it really at the end of it, I was just like, man, I wish I had, to do that. Not just for an accolade to be like, I went to war. What did you do? It's more, and it's a once in a lifetime experience if you make it through.
Yeah, I mean-
it's one of the. Like, did I?
Yeah, that would be once in a lifetime, regardless. Of what
Well,
happens.
yeah. I mean, like it kind of made me want to answer the call, but I'm a video game boy and I believe in respawns, right? So like,
Yeah,
I
and
don't
also,
know
like,
what
what-
real war is.
What is
These
the
actual heroes.
many people have obviously made the case for the Second World War being like the last justified war kind of thing, right? Of American intervention, anyway.
Yeah.
So like, what would you be fighting for now? And also, yeah, just like so much has changed. Back then you've got some Iowa farm boy who's never been out of the state, going off and being like, well, I guess this is just what the world is like.
Yeah.
I guess it's just blowing up in guts and stuff, and you don't question it. But
Yeah.
now, like, you got some Iowa farm boy.
And your
who's-
best gal just divorced you 3 years into the campaign.
Right.
Surely you still have the will to live.
Hey, is that Paul Giamatti over there? But now you got your Iowa farm boys, and even if they've never left the state, they've got the internet and
Yeah.
Oh,
everything.
yeah.
It's just changed us in many ways. It's made us softer, but also more critical of going off and dying for
Yeah.
some cause that is at the time.
Yeah.
Like now, like you can certainly. We've sort of retconned. Well, not even. I mean, it sounds kind of disrespectful, but yeah, I'll
What do you mean?
I'll ride with it. We've kind of retconned the meaning behind fighting in World War II. Certainly World War One. World War One especially. World War One was just a complete waste. That they had to go and be
Yeah.
like, actually,
Family drama.
yeah, exactly. A bunch of inbred. Anyway, but we've kind of added all this meaning and significance and valor to the cause. But now I don't think there's anything that people are really willing to lay their life on the line for, and for good reason in a lot of cases. I mean, yeah, like I said, obviously World War II, a very just cause, right? But I think people are very skeptical now, more skeptical now than they were back then of committing to a cause in
Well,
general.
From that first episode, I noticed they had interviews with people that were actually there. I don't know if that's the thing that they do in every episode of
No, that
Band of
was-
Brothers, or if it's just the beginning.
That was CGI aged Matt Damon.
It was, but they had that thing of like, he's like, I'm one of 4 guys in my town. All 4 of us went, and only like 1 actually qualified, and the rest of the guys,
Yeah.
yeah,
Because it
And-
was so much pressure. And,
Yeah.
You know, to be left behind, I guess, you know?
Yeah, well, there were some instances of. I'm going to mess this up because it's been a long time since I've learned about this, but like women, especially in British and Canadian towns specifically, would like, and not all women, but like not all women, but
Thank you for tuning into our last show.
but no, like there was like a sort of patriotic league, and these women would like shame and harass men of fighting age who
Kick
were
sand in their eye and stuff?
who were
Really?
just who were just going around town, going about their business, living.
To be
what are
fair,
you
like
doing here? Yeah.
that you needed men and women to stay behind to run the world.
Yeah,
economy,
absolutely.
Right?
You still have things
but
that need,
that's-
and also I think there are totally justified reasons not to join the armed forces. But anyway, and so like, a lot of
Right.
there were like ribbons and stuff that men could wear to denote certain like conditions or reasons for staying behind, kind of thing, so that they could avoid getting ridiculed by the public, because it was such a.
that's believable. Though.
They had to watch
I
the
can see
season
that
finale
being-
of Gettysburg or something, you know? Like it was on TV probably back then.
That was a
They-
movie, wasn't it? I'm actually being
I don't
serious.
watch
this
I
time.
think so. I think.
It was like a 4-hour movie.
You mean the Alamo? Or- no.
Yeah.
I would have been the guy
Civil
in
War
the
is a
bunker
different-
Civil War.
that never. You remember? I don't know if you guys remember. I only saw the first Bob episode.
Yeah.
So there's a guy who just chills in the bunker in the beginning and doesn't get dressed to go run.
Yes. Yeah.
And that, I mean, really, that's probably me.
That's mental.
And he just stares and he just doesn't do shit. And I'm like, everyone wants to. It's dirty out there.
So,
It gets sweaty.
Can I?
Then he sits on the toilet and
that's-
grabs the M16 and shoots his drill
Yeah.
instructor.
What is your major malfunction? Yeah, that's Currahee. That's Currahee. That's
Currahee,
the,
yeah.
First episode. 3 miles up, 3 miles down.
Hi ho Silver,
And
all that.
yes, we had a exercise class in high school. It was called Spartacus. I'm sure every
Wow.
high school had the
Like
one
the
was
beep
called
test and stuff.
It was like you had to run a certain amount, and the last test was running a 5K run. I did it. I've done
Really?
it. I've done it twice in my life.
Full pack.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I did it once
60
in high school, and then once I ran
60-pound
around
pack,
the
full
bay.
ammunition.
Did
Yeah.
you drink from your canteen?
I wish you weren't allowed to. You had to. You remember you had to pour it out. And,
Oh, dude, if I was a soldier, I would get such bad trench foot. My feet are like
mine
sensitive.
too.
My skin is
yeah,
awful.
I know what you
well,
mean.
back then it was
Yeah.
like a piece of thick leather,
Oh,
and
yeah.
that was it.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
a sock that wore through. And
You're just dumping blood out of your sock. everywhere.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
like
Blood and sweat and
this
pus.
was nothing like it. But I wish I would have seen Band of Brothers earlier. It would have given me motivation because we in the Spartacus class had to run up the escarpment.
Oh yeah, okay.
Similar
Up
to-
and down.
yeah.
It was nothing like but it was just like slow down if you don't feel. Back then it was just if you didn't do well, they would actually move you out of that company, out of Easy Company. Mm-hmm. They were very strict. And,
It actually wasn't easy.
It was not. It was the opposite. That was actually
Many people think
the division.
misnomer.
yeah, it was either the division or the company with the most casualties in World War II.
American.
It was. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That sustained the most losses. They were actually ended up the
Wow.
ones who ended up taking Hitler's Eagle's Nest. Every time I watch the end, this is
Brian.
lore. This is not spoiling the show for you. This is
What happens?
every time they show Austria, and they show the towns in it.
Yeah.
Beautiful place.
Ignoring the local flags at the time, it looks like a beautiful. I want to eat
Yeah.
pastries there.
Yeah.
It's
My parents-
the Alps.
My parents have been to the Eagle's Nest.
Oh, really?
They were like, "It's so beautiful." No, I'm just kidding.
Look at these photos I found.
yeah. Yeah. I leaned on a wall and it opened a secret panel.
I found this old man inside.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful place, and I really want to go and not just to check out the Eagle's Nest.
Yeah.
It'd be the cherry on the top of the mountain. But every time I see it, there's a scene where Nixon and Winters are just chatting about what they're going to do after the war. You feel that closing feeling on the series and the war. It shows the horrors of what happens when you just pluck guys out and say war is over. But a lot of the time, most of the time, the war never stopped in these young men, and there was a lot of murders, accidents. All
like you go back home and die in a car accident.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at every major war, the murder rate goes up when everyone comes back home. It's
Well, how are you supposed to turn that off? Yeah.
exactly, and they didn't know how to deal with it back then. They were just learning from like World War One. You were just executed if you didn't feel well. If you,
well, you're going to the sanitarium. Yeah.
Literally, they just
Sanatorium.
executed because they had no idea about the hysterical walking gaits. You ever see those? And like,
Could you show me?
Austria.
Off to prison with you.
Austria looked beautiful though. They had those, like, those
beautiful
beautiful
country.
trees. They put like this like brown hueish on over the colors or something like that. It looks beautiful, and that's one of my favorite parts. But yeah, it turns out they all get started to get ready to get shipped off to the Pacific. So I need to watch that show too. I watched
Yeah, it sounds
Masters
really good.
of the Air, which is the bombing cruise, and it was a little slow.
Really?
Like 9 guys named Buck.
That's the one where
That's Austin Butler.
that's the one where Sean Astin.
Oh, yes.
Sean Astin almost
Sean
falls
Astin.
out of the ball turret.
What movie is that?
What is that movie? Memphis Belle.
Memphis Ball.
Memphis ball turret. Yeah.
Well, yeah, watching it, sure, war is a horrible thing and there's loss of life that's unnecessary. But there was something in me that said, what an honor it would be to live through that and
Yeah, no, there's
feel proud to
always
serve your
that.
country.
There's
right?
always that. And
I wish we could talk about some sort of like joining of like military in the future, but we'll see.
yeah, maybe we do have a theme today a little bit.
Maybe.
But yeah, there is always that draw. There's always that pull. For me, it's adventure rather than it's adventure and camaraderie more so than any like sense of duty or honor.
Or reality like breaking consequences.
Oh, for sure. To be clear, I never. I would rather shoot all the toes on my feet off than have to go.
Well, I have a gun here.
Prove it.
Just really quick, guys. What's your favorite war?
Man, you know this is a tough question for me. It's either the First World War or the American Civil War.
And the Civil War, I need to do more research on.
That is a good one.
It's a huge. Like I have a friend of mine.
It's
who's-
incredible.
Yeah, it's not just you don't watch like a series like Band of Brothers and get it all.
No,
There's
the,
just
the
so much
equivalent.
more.
The equivalent
You
is
watch The Patriot.
Yeah, that's the War of Independence. But the equivalent is the Ken Burns.
I did see
Civil
that.
War
I did see
series.
that, and Ken Burns Vietnam. But sorry,
Yep,
go ahead.
Ken Burns Vietnam's good too. Narrated by Tom Hanks / fuck, I forget his name from Saving Private Ryan. But anyway,
No,
Vietnam is
it's the
Tom
Arbiter.
Hanks.
Who's the Arbiter in Halo 2?
Vietnam is the Tom Hanks.
I was going to make
What's
a
his name?
Halo joke about
He's in a
that's my
bunch of
favorite
John
war.
Carpenter films.
Vietnam is Tom Hanks narrating. I don't know what to tell you.
And
I think you're maybe thinking of the Second World War Ken Burns one, The War.
who's the Arbiter in Halo 2? What's his name? He was in The Thing. He was in They Live. Dun dun.
You finding it?
They Live,
Dun,
isn't
dun.
that...
That's the one where it's still a John Carpenter film.
yeah, but the actor.
What's his name? David.
Hasselhoff.
Not David Amber.
Duchovny.
It's David. No,
Spade. David Spade is the
it's not
Arbiter.
David. Why? It's the voice. You know who I'm talking about, right?
No, I don't know anyone named David except for my beautiful brother.
His name's David?
What?
Davey
Keith
Wavy.
David?
Keith David. That's it.
Richards.
I'm Keith,
Keith
David.
Richards.
Yeah, that was a terrible
Keith David.
impression.
Wow.
Sorry, I derailed that. So
I don't
if you
know- I
could
don't
give
care.
some sort of answer here,
Oh,
one
right.
of your favorites,
Oh, I just did. That's
So that's your two, your top two?
Tied for
Civil and one.
and WWI. Yeah, the Great War.
It's not 1812 as much as you want me to say that.
No, I don't.
1812 is a pretty.
You
pretty
can say
fun
the
one.
Covenant versus Human. Like it's
The Covenant versus Humans. I don't
Ryan's
know.
going Peloponnesian for sure.
Oh yeah, I'm a Pella boy.
Yeah, if you
Pelopi Brie.
are you like a goth boy, you sacking.
There was one that I always
Second
liked
Rome.
that the English did, where they just crushed someone in the Middle East, in Europe somewhere. I forget where though.
Oh, the Third Crusade.
Yeah, there's one where like there were
Third
like
Crusade
the,
made the Fifth
the Balkans.
Crusade look like
I
the
always
Second
I always
Crusade.
heard that the
Your
Balkans
favorite war
cool.
was the Kingdom of Heaven.
The one I like to
yeah.
reference is the Balkans, but I don't know anything about.
Yo, like when Orlando Bloom in Kingdom of Heaven shot down that whole elephant,
That was in that movie.
and when he
Well,
surfed down the shield
yes.
on the stairs. Yeah, that's
That still only counts as one.
That is my favorite World War movie. Is is Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, big time. Oh, that's a great call.
Battle for Isengard?
The War of the Ring is a good
Yeah,
one. That's
okay.
that's a top top
fair.
5 war for sure.
Yeah, mine would have to be
Maldives. That's a battle though. That's not. Yeah.
World War II in Vietnam.
Yeah, Nam was
Lame.
I know.
I'm just kidding.
Wow.
I know. But I did look into World War One.
Vietnam
On the-
was cool because I liked who won it. Actually, I like who won World War II as well. But sorry, to be clear.
Wait.
To be clear, I like,
Wait a second.
I like who won both of those wars.
Okay, who thought they won, and then the other. Okay,
Right.
that's a safe way to put it. I did look into World War One though. When I started looking into that early trench warfare and like the horrors of it, you know, the mustard gas and
Yeah.
just
yeah.
the
One is cool.
conditions of. That one, or like where the Canadians got their name as stormtroopers. No,
I mean, they
were they
sort of
stormtroopers?
colloquially
German.
called that.
No, the Germans called the Canadians stormtroopers.
Yeah.
'Cause
Shock
they-
troopers, I
Shock
think, yeah.
troopers. Yeah, it's my bad. Stormtroopers were the German version.
No, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, yeah.
Yeah, but that's not what they're.
Same-
yeah.
same
What's
thing,
it called
but-
in German? Do you know?
Stormtrooping.
Stormtrooping, yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know.
Stormgruppen.
Stormtrooping. Let's
Yeah.
not use the German word storm very much.
Yeah. True.
Strum. Okay.
Um,
So
yeah. What did you give a favorite war, Brian?
Yes.
Or-
Yeah, he
I mean,
said-
one has some good poetry. There's
Yep,
some good
and
mustard
really
gas
good art
poetry.
movements came out of the First World War and just post First World War.
There's some beauty
art.
that comes out of that.
Yeah,
Pretty
some
much art sucked.
art students
before
came
the-
out of there too.
Yeah, yeah,
No.
Anyway, art sucked before 1919. Nobody painted a good picture before that.
Ooh, you saying war is not? Okay, never mind.
Not just
Messed
because
that
of the
up.
war, but that was a big part of it. Industrialization as well. But anyway,
I was gonna go Nam, but you said it was sucky, and it is
No,
sucky.
you can. It's whatever.
It's the music. It's the music and the and the
you can't argue with some credence.
methamphetamines. That's actually World War
Bands
II.
of
There was
chocolate.
a lot of
Too, Marvin.
methamphetamines. Yeah,
Lots of
amphetamines.
super chocolates. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what is your
Some Dexies.
Drugs.
okay?
War on drugs.
War on drugs is that's a good one.
So who won that one? You know?
I would probably actually the one I had the most interest was probably civil, just because like they'd be cutting limbs off all day.
Oh yeah, that's like we don't. They didn't even have like they had like that general purpose cream that you like used to brush your teeth, put on your wound. Like,
And that was the fattest part of my
Okay.
history book because it happened right where I was learning it. They were like, because they fought in New Jersey at the time, so I was like, they're like, see over there.
Not the
That's-
Civil War. That'd be
where they
American
died.
Revolution. The
a lot of
War of
1812.
Independence.
No, they got up there.
There's a
I'm
house
pretty sure.
from
No.
that was built in it's a historical house down here.
Wait, are you
1812.
saying Civil War? They didn't get up to Pennsylvania. That was
Pennsylvania, yeah, not Jersey.
Oh, well, they were next to each other. They touch each other.
Yeah, I don't think there was any fighting in New Jersey. We can look it up.
I mean, did the fighting ever stop in New Jersey?
It's the
And
Garden
then-
State. It's
now they have
beautiful.
drone warfare.
War of Independence for sure in Jersey. yeah.
Probably, yeah. I might be misremembering my entire history.
Well, I'm sure if
Where were
anybody sees this,
What even is your name?
I mean, there is a part in each male brain and female if you want, but there is a part that's like the war organ in your brain that like memorizes just like your wars. Mm-hmm. Right? From like Lego Wars, Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, World Wars.
When most kids when they see a hockey stick, they don't just see a hockey stick. They also see a rifle. you
Yeah.
know?
A Lee Enfield.
Sure. Or
Springfield.
if you're Canadian,
The
a
Enfield,
Ross.
yeah.
Or Ross.
And you're like, I like this thing because it shoots about 25% of the time successfully.
Yeah. No, at the end of the day,
And then you
war-
grab your dad's hockey stick and it's a musket from the
it's a musket or a giant scythe.
Oh my god. I do remember every time I've done laser tag. I would like to do paintball.
Do you wake up in a cold
I
sweat?
would like to shoot guns in general.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Gun
Yeah.
shooting, it does something to you.
Yeah, it's fun.
If
It
they're
is fun.
loud though. Did you know that?
Not laser.
Not
yeah,
if you
laser.
have sound.
You can turn the volume down on that one.
Have you ever seen Starship Troopers?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Do you think that all war would be solved if there was a legit alien threat like that on Klondatu?
Because
What
we
do you
would
mean?
die.
What do you, wait. Not to not to make this podcast another hour and a half long. What do you mean by legitimate
Undeniable.
in the context of Starship Troopers?
Well, a undeniable threat against humanity that each nation has their worries about that they
Yeah, but
could
the-
be affected.
The point of the movie is that
Fascism.
humanity
Fascism.
is the
It's
threat.
fascist.
Humanity is the threat.
They make it, and that's Helldivers too, right? It takes a page out of. That's where that's from.
I think they're doing a Starship Troopers.
they're
I
doing
think
a
they're
remake,
doing a remake
with
it's either a remake or a new movie entirely. I don't know.
yeah, Neil Blomkamp, guy from District 9.
the
He's
guy who made one good movie.
Yep. Is it District 9?
yeah,
that's the one good
amongst
movie,
other
yeah.
things.
He
yeah.
also did
He
the
made one or
live
two.
action Halo. There's they did like some promos for Halo ODST, and I think,
Oh.
and there
Oh, the commercials?
he raised the bar, and then the Halo show was like,
No.
we don't want
dropped
to do
the bar
good.
on its foot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the BAR,
Nice.
Browning Automatic.
Yeah, let's
Rifle.
call it there. That's a good.
But
It's over.
Yeah, war is a terrible thing, but fun until it's not.
It's again. I'll
Right?
stand by my take that
Yeah.
if you're gonna go to war with your friends, just do it when you're asleep at night in your dreams, and then you wake up and be like, oh, it's kind of a cool dream, and I don't
Or
have
held
to
out loose. Whatever.
suffer any of the political, social, or physical ramifications of this conflict.
Yep. Check out Band of Brothers. Check out a war show to get an idea of what it was like. Give a little bit of respect to the past generations who were long. I think the last pilot of Battle of Britain died. That's 100.
Yeah.
It's over 100.
Oh yeah,
close to
there are
100
not-
years ago.
There aren't too many.
No.
There aren't too many World War II veterans left anymore.
But
There still are some.
they'll remember the Battle of GameStop one day. So remember us. Yeah, the Straight to the Moon and the Battle of the
stocks?
shorting it.
The- okay, yeah.
That was a war. So no, I think this was good. Is there anything
Yeah.
else, fellas, you'd like to add before we?
No,
I'm all right.
stick around
Footloose?
for our. We're going to be ranking our favorite world wars.
We already did that.
Ranking
Ranking? Yeah.
all the world wars. Number 2 will shock you.
Yeah. Brian,
Yeah.
we need to play some more Fly Night. So
It is good.
it's a very good game.
very good.
For $7.
I do agree, though. You need to get my testosterone up, I need to kill some stuff. Just
Virtual,
in general.
virtual.
Sure, virtual.
In a video game.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this was a good chat, fellas. I'll definitely remember. Oh,
What?
can I play the dream? Just to
Play us out. Sure, play us
Play us
out
out.
here with. What is this?
yeah. I mean, if you're watching this and you made it this far, just want to say thank you from the bottom of my cold dead heart. But this is just a quick little excerpt that I sent Brian when I woke up. I had such a vivid dream that I was like, man, dreaming's fun. I love getting REMs. I feel refreshed.
Yeah.
Before I didn't get much of this, so without further ado,
Yeah, when you smoke weed, you dream less.
Yeah.
yeah, like none. So yeah, making some better decisions and habits. But yeah,
Hello. I want to let you know that I had dreams last night. I finally hit my REMs. I feel a lot better, by the way. Feels good. Feels good to dream. Had a lot of dreams last night.
He's just telling you over and over again that he had dreams.
This in public and share this on any kind of public forum ever. But I had dreams that because I was watching Masters of the Air, which is an Apple TV show about the bombing crew in World War II. I was in some sort of kind of looked like a treehouse, but it was flying, and I was defending this like little pillbox I was shooting out of against AT-ATs from Empire Strikes Back, and I had to attack their neck weak spot and the turret on top that actually doesn't exist at all in lore. So after that,
This dream is getting a cease and desist from
I
Disney.
went to a noodle shop that was also located in a tree fort. I was watching a lot of Indian street videos, so everything was dirty.
Everything was dirty.
It was the staff was friendly, so that's what really counts. It's
Hell
customer
yeah.
service at the end of the day.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. That's
It was a cool little treehouse restaurant, multiple levels, and then I descended from the treehouse into the Oscars, which
Okay.
was
I didn't get this far.
seated beside Shane Gillis and his girlfriend, and we talked.
Who would
and
not
laughed
be
like we were
invited to the
best friends.
Oscars?
And I think at the end of the day,
I
if
do
you're a
remember this
persona
now.
on the internet and you were pretending that, well, not pretending, but you come off that you could be someone's friend. That's the real goal, so you can chum it up with your viewership. So I thought him and I were friends, and we laughed and we carried on. and then I got bumped up to the front row, and then eventually I went to go. Oh, I got a text while I was sitting beside Shane Gillis. I got a text from this girl that I thought was cute a long time ago. And she asked me a question, and I didn't want to seem like a simp, so I didn't answer her right away. So I put the
Jesus
phone away,
Christ.
and then I got bumped up to the front row of the Oscars. And then I think I moved back beside Shane. We chummed it up. He's like, yeah, you're going to replace Lemaire for a while, whatever, on the podcast. Come by, maybe you can help him. And then I went to go check my phone. My phone was missing, so for the rest of the dream, I was trying to find my phone. And I finally woke up, and I was like, huh, I got my phone.
What the fuck?
Anyways, hope you have a good day, and you filled my heart with Halo last night. So
Hey. Okay, now I remember
Thank
the
you.
timing of this.
au revoir.
Au revoir.
So that was it. So that was
Even in your dream, you couldn't text the girl.
no. I'm dreaming because a girl texted me. So,
right.
so that's the main.
I'm imagining
takeaway.
you were in bed doing like you picking lint out of your belly button.
Oh yeah. I
Immediately
woke up,
called.
my crusted
Yeah.
eyes like popped open.
I was
like,
your dream journal.
Yeah, you were. So I just wanted to end this little part like that, and maybe we won't keep that in, but we'll see.
It was good.
But I just wanted to share that with you. So dream your dreams, live long enough to dream the dream that always is, and thank you, fellas.
Thank you.
Till next time.
Prost.
Prost.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Stormzy. What was the?